Ah, you people, I want to give you a very short story, and it's true life experience. Guys, have you ever gotten to a point where everything you are trying to do keeps on hitting a rock? Like it doesn't succeed, you don't succeed at all. If you decide you want to do business, it cracks down. If you decide you want to do YouTube, it falls apart. You decide that you're trying to go to America, your documents disappear. You decide to apply for a passport, everyone is just looking at you like, are you okay? Are you okay? Have you ever gotten to that point where everything you try doing is not actually succeeding, not working? That was the situation I was in the past few months. Actually, from January, when we just opened the year 2022. I don't know whether we to call it depression or what do we call it, because this year has not been my year. This year is a year that I'm just saying, oh, thank you God for adding me another year. But the days that have gone, where I can recall all the painful encounters that I've gone through in this world, in this year since it started. There was a time I broke down. I was suffering from an emotional damage, an emotional breakdown where I lost it. I was nearly losing my mind. I was losing myself. I locked myself in the house for so many days because I was depressed. And it took me time to realize I was depressed. For me, I just woke up one day, I realized like I don't want people. I don't want to see people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to respond to messages. If I had to, then I was responding to very few people. Very few people. I got to that point when I was like, oh no, I don't know what's happening to me. I can't eat. I can't sleep. Sometimes I sleep, I oversleep. Sometimes I don't sleep. I'm just there like an idol. And thank God at that time, people who came through for me because I shared my problem in public with you on YouTube here. Thank you to Fishmonger Stories who helped me so much, and I don't know how much to thank you. And also thank you to you, Sherry Roberts, because you also contributed so much to my well-being. And look at me today because you contributed for me. They sacrificed something for me. But since this year started, I've been trying to put my documents in order. I had these documents, everything. I had everything about myself. But there was a time and a year that they got lost and I couldn't trace them. If you lose your certificates here in Kenya, prepare for the worst, bro. Just prepare for the worst. Ask me what they did to me. Ish. On January, I remember I started applying for a passport. So when I went to the office, they told me, no, you cannot apply for a passport without a birth certificate, without a KRA PIN, and without a national ID. I said, okay, these things. I went back to the house. I had a photocopy of my birth certificate, and I also had my ID. So when I took these ones there, they told me, bro, these are different people. And I was like, but they're all mine. The KRA certificate is mine. The national ID is mine, as well as the birth certificate is a copy of my original birth certificate, even though it got lost. These guys refused and they told me they want original documents that have similar names. My documents, each document had a different spelling error. The KRA, instead of Devance, they wrote Devance. My ID was written correctly, Devance. My birth certificate was written Devance in Luo, just in mother tongue, Devance, Devans, just like that. So these people said these are different people and I need to talk to a lawyer and get an affidavit for all these things to be the same way. Lawyer, the first lawyer I approached told me for every form they are going to ask for 1,000 Kenyan shillings. So that was too much. That was too much. I said, so I'm going to pay 3,000 every time I'm going to apply for something. I'll be paying 3,000. I said no. I am going to take my time, my resources, and all efforts to ensure all my names are just okay. So I started with my with the birth certificate. I said, birth certificate, I can just go to Huduma Center, register for a new one, and voila, it will be out within no time. Hey! When I went to Huduma Center, because of my birth certificate, do you know those guys nearly arrested me? They nearly arrested me thinking that I'm a thief. And I was like, why? What's wrong with you? Why are people handling me like a thief? You know, these people told me, at Devance, your birth certificate is fake. We cannot give you a new one because the one that you have currently is fake. It's not in our system. And the code that you're using, that serial number for your birth certificate, it belongs to Ann Nyambane. Mama, I was like, what do you mean? I've used this birth certificate to even register for my national exams. Why didn't they prove it at that time? They told me, you know, your birth certificate is indicated here. It was taken late. It was, late registration or late application. So for these late applications, the chances are that they normally come with their weaknesses and problems or issues. Whoa, wait a minute. Then I remembered it's my uncle who took after my father's wealth when my father died, who processed this birth certificate for me. So he didn't go through the normal channel. He went through a shortcut, and that is why my name or my items or system were not in the government system as a Kenyan or as a citizen of Kenya. That was a very painful experience, and so they told me they have an option of arresting me immediately or I put my things in order. And so I had to just ask them, what do I do next? They told me, you have to apply for a new birth certificate here and wait for it to come. I applied, paid 150 Kenyan shillings and waited. I waited. January came and went. February came and went. March came and went. Still no hopes. I kept on walking into these offices doing a follow-up. As my birth certificate not come, do you know what they're telling me? We are still processing birth certificates of 2 years ago. So you have to be patient with us until when your form shall come. When it comes out, you keep visiting our office and we will let you know when it is ready. April came and left. After April, we go to what? April, May. May came. It went. June came. June. And now we got into July. So in this month of July, I said, no, enough is enough. I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to take another action. So I got angry and went back to town and asked them, what do you people want me to do? It's 6 months down the line. I haven't had my birth certificate. I should be applying for passport and thinking of other things. Why are you people frustrating me? And somebody called me and told me, you know what? It's not our responsibility to take care of your birth certificate and what and what. The mistakes that happened are not our mistakes. Blame yourself, blame your family. I felt like this person wanted us to fight because my anger level was already at 97%. 97%. It was only 3% left for my anger level to get to 100%, and I was going to burst. I was going to burst, and those people who were not going to like what I was going to do at that particular time. So I told them, you have spoken. What do I do? Tell me what you want me to do, and I will do it. Somebody again called me and told me the only way they can help me is when I go back to the hospital where I was born. That is in Kisii County. Remember, I'm in Nairobi County. I go back to Kisii County, the hospital where I was born, so they can give me a new birth entry. When they give me a new birth entry, that is what I'm supposed to take to Nairobi. There's this, how do we call it? There's this building or church called SEK where they give people baptismal cards. That is where I'm supposed to take it. They'll give me a baptismal card, and then I will take that card to Has Plaza, a different location. Has Plaza, they offer death certificates and birth certificates. So, that was a long process for me. But I said, what will I do? God, if this is your will, let me just go ahead and do it. See, I went to Nini. I had to travel all the way to Kisii. The whole night I traveled for about 7 hours to get to Kisii. I go to the hospital frustrated me. They told me they don't have files for the year I was born, they are long lost, they can't get them right now. And so they placed me there wondering how they can help me, but they couldn't help me because they said even the cards, the clinical cards that were being used in our days of birth when I was born are completely different from the cards that they use in the generation of 2000. So it was difficult for them to even do a fake document for me. So they recommended me to go to somebody who might help me at the DC's office, District Commissioner's office. I went there, I got this guy who was young looking just like me, and we clicked quickly because he was already having a clue that I was coming there. The guy took my documents, they ran it through their systems and realized honestly it was a fake one, it was not legit, and it could put me in serious trouble if I continue using it. So the guy told me, where do you come from? I told him I come from Suba. And he said, why are you taking your birth certificate from Kisii? I told him, here is where I was born, and some of my documents already indicate that I was born here in Kisii, so it has to have the Kisii name in it. So he told me, okay, what we are going to do, I'm going to help you get a new birth certificate, and we call it late registration or late application. But you're not going to say you are born in hospital, because if you say you are born in hospital, you'll have to go to hospital and get a birth entry. For now, we will say you are just born in Kisii Township, and then you will get a chief for you to sign somewhere for you. Hey, this guy promised that he will help me. Even though he took the whole day, he helped me. He helped me, and I was so glad that he helped me. I left that place with a birth certificate. I was so glad. I'm warning you, never think of losing your birth certificate or any document of yours here in Kenya. You will be taken right, left, and center, even though they can be made on one station. They just want to push you, go to that place, go to the other office, go to the other, because they want money. Money does many things. Money answers all questions here in Kenya. Let me share with you again about my other lost document, which was my KRA. No, my KRA certificate was not lost. It had a name error. I went to the offices and they frustrated me the same way. They kept on pushing me to go to the other desk, they will help you. I go to that desk, they tell me now we are already gone for lunch. I sit, wait for them for 2 hours to come back again. They keep frustrating me. They frustrated me until I was nearly giving up. And I called a friend of mine. I told my friend, bro, I'm suffering here in town. I'm struggling to get a name change in my, KRA. The error is not mine. It's them who did it, because me, I gave them the correct details, but the system came with a spelling error on my name. So they took me like this, until I wanted to cry. I was about to faint. And that is when that guy called me later and told me, I have a friend of mine who will help you along Mombasa Road. Go to Mombasa Road, he will help you. And when I went to Mombasa Road, trust me, I got that document in less than 20 minutes. Because I got there at a time when they were going for lunch. I waited for them to come from lunch. So after 15 minutes, somebody called me and asked me, my boy, how can I help you? And I explained my problems and I narrated my story. I told him the way I've been looking for this document for several months. And the guy told me, relax, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in again, breathe out. And I was relaxed. And he told me, I'm gonna help you get this document in less than 10 minutes. Wacha wasiwasi, relax, this is Kenya. In Kenya, you must know someone to get something. Yani, without connection, you are doomed. This guy helped me, and believe you me, in 5 minutes time, my name was already changed, printed, and registered. Something that I've been fighting for several months. I've been working on changing my name for several months. It was done in 5 minutes time, and I was like, whoa. So in Kenya, you must know someone. The power of connection, that is what helped me get that name change free of charge. What am I trying to say? You know, I got to a point where I was so much lost. I realized I was lost, I was depressed, I was going through a lot after I've received these documents, because some joy, some overwhelming happiness just came out of nowhere, and I realized how happy I am. I was like, wait. So these things were depressing me, and I didn't know. Because I remember there are times when I just remember that I cannot get these names, that I have to travel, that they keep sending me away from their offices. I would sink into a lot of stress. No, I don't eat, I don't bathe, but I was not bathing also because of the cold weather. But, if you want to judge me, Saudi yako. So I wasn't eating, I wasn't bathing, I wasn't thinking straight, I was just confused always. I was like, who is that relative of mine that I have wronged that is doing these painful things for me? Hey, I was feeling like somebody was behind my unsuccessful, event of activities. I felt like this was the hand of someone, that somebody was not happy with my progress. Somebody was doing something for me not to proceed, not to succeed. And I was like, God, please forgive me. If I am a sinner, forgive me. God, if I have wronged you, forgive me. If it is somebody, the hand of someone that is doing this for me, please let them forgive me. Let them set me free. I told God every prayer, every prayer that I knew. In English, I spoke to God in English. I spoke to him in Kiswahili. I spoke to him in mother tongue, all the languages I know, just to make sure that my prayer gets to heaven. I was like, why are my prayers not getting into God's ears? Or could it be the angel who is supposed to be taking my problems to God is not doing his work? Should he be fired? Should he be demoted from that position? But then whom am I going to get to? Who will I tell that my angel is not getting to God? I suffered until one day God just came to me himself. He told me, my son, I have heard your prayers, I've heard your cries, I was giving you time, I was testing you. I wanted to see how can you handle such kind of situations. I was so bitter, I was so mad with God, but God told me, my son, what is it that you want? And I told him, God, me, at this point, I want to be successful. You see, my certificates are disturbing me. KRA has a different name. The ID has a different name. My documents have different name when it comes to exam papers. And as also my birth certificate has a different name, and it's even lost. And it is fake, and it's not mine. God told me, I have heard you, my son. He wiped my tears and told me, relax, all these things are going to work well for you. And in a month's time, on the same week, I got all these documents. The KRA certificate, which is the Kenya Revenue Authority certificate, as well as my birth certificate. And I have a brand new birth certificate. I have a KRA with details well written for me. For those of you who are not from Kenya, if you don't know what a KRA is something that makes the government recognize you. Yeah. Almost every Kenyan must have it. Like, you must have it. There's an age that comes that you have to have it. With the KRA, you can. Without the KRA, you can't be employed. You can't be paid. You can't explore your tax details and what. It's like the way Americans call it social security number. Yeah. Without that one, you cannot even survive in America. It's the same thing with the KRA here in Kenya. That is how we refer to it. So guys, basically with the KRA certificate, you can access so many other government services and opportunities. Sometimes we go through a lot of things, we go through a lot of situations because there are people who are working very hard in the background to see you fail. And they will do everything possible. They go to witch doctors, they go behind your back and make your name so dirty among friends, among your employers, among people who can help you so that they cannot help you. They are busy doing everything possible to see you suffer for the rest of your life. So sometimes you might think the problem is you, but the problem is not you. The problem is the people around you. Thank God my problem was solved. And I know if it was the work of the hands of a human being, If the way I've said that everything went through for me, I am sure they are going to go back to the background again and start doing the nasty things that they were doing for me. But I'm telling you, I serve a God who will always protect me, who will watch over me, who will cover me with his blood. And everything that you do to harm me, this innocent boy, it shall go back to you or your family or your generation. So don't fight with me. Don't please. Me that you see here, I am just a child of God, and God will fight for me just like our father fights for their own children. Bottom line of this video, please always try to ensure that your documents are correct. Every time that you do anything that in this country, ensure that your documents are correct and they're legit. Early enough, because you never know when God might want to lift you, or God want to change your destiny, or anything might happen. Just go, sometimes just to go verify and confirm, am I using a legit birth certificate? Is my KRA legit? Is my ID national card valid? Is my passport okay? Just confirm those things and be sure. And if you find that they're not correct or legit, start working on getting the correct documents on time, so that you can be on the safer side with yourself, with your employers, with your government. You will not suffer, you will not struggle. Just do it early and enough so that you can have peace. Don't do them at the last minute. Now when you want to use them, that is when you want to start working on all these things. It will stress you, it will drain you, it will bring you down, it will make you hate yourself, you will hate life. Until next time, always work hard and be nice to people, and remember that nothing is impossible. This is Devance Empire. End of discussion.